I've been wearing the Pebble watch, which is a second screen. It's why I wear it all the time. And this actually is very nice because
Who makes that?
This is made by a company called Pebble. It was a Kickstarter program. It was the one that got to the first $10 million Kickstarter program.
Okay.
But what this is the second screen to my phone. So if I get a phone call, the phone number will appear on here, an SMS message appears. I can't do anything about it. I just look at it.
So you can't call from it or anything like that?
I can't call from it.
Okay.
I can see what the message is.
Okay.
So that's really nice.
It's like a first generation.
It's a first generation. Well, actually, if you look back, this was the first generation. This is what MSN came out with years ago. They abandoned it. It was basically a watch that received weather alerts and all the rest. Clunky, didn't last very long in battery. Then the Chinese came out with these big monsters. These are actually phones, believe it or not. These are actually Windows phones. You can actually...
So you can call from
You can
those.
call, no, you have to plug in a headset. They're really clunky.
Okay.
This one's got a camera on it.
When did those come out, by the way?
These are out now. You can buy them today. Go on Amazon, buy them today. These are all out. But now this new generation is coming out. So this is the Sony. You mentioned Sony before. So this is the Sony watch. This is the Pebble. And now we're going to see...
And the Sony watch does what?
The Sony watch is actually very nice because it ties to my phone, so it tells you the time, of course. But it also you can go in here and you can swipe it and you can see different applications. You can control a music player. You can read messages on it.
Okay, so is that the closest thing to what we might see coming out from Samsung?
It's going to be a combination of these. It's going to be the Pebble form factor. I think it's going to be a very nice form factor. It's going to have functionality of the Sony. And it's going to have some calling features, these big clunky Chinese knockoffs.
So then, Nick, you're looking at all of this. Do you think, first of all, do you think people want wearable smartphones?
They clearly do. I mean, look at the sales of the Fitbit. People love this. They love having this stuff on their wrists. I think it's definitely a big market. Now, I don't know who's going to win. It's amazing that they're coming out all at the same time. It will be a pure competition, right? Can Samsung's product beat Apple's product plus theater? Hard thing for Samsung to do. Apple's theater is a little less good than it used to be, but we'll see about that. But as you can clearly see from Greg's watches, they're getting better, right? Look at the early ones. They look like sort of construction scene devices. You look at the later ones, they look like things you might wear. So we've now reached a point where you can wear one without feeling awful about yourself. So.
And to that point, I have a Breitling watch. I mean, this is a very expensive watch. And everyone comments on this one. This is a $200 watch. They all look.
What watches are you wearing right now, Greg?
Well, I'm actually wearing two, but I'm actually also wearing. I'm also Fitbit. I'm wearing the Nike Fuel, which is actually acts as a watch.
You are all wired up.
And the new Withings, which is this is a blood pressure monitor and heart rate monitor, etc. This just came out. But I'm looking at the whole notion of wearables, and I agree with you, Nick. The whole notion of wearables, people are doing it. They're getting into fitness. They want to see where they're active and all the rest. So these things are happening. Combining them together with some real design and applications, that's where Samsung will actually be able to do something. Because if they tie it in with their smart features they have on their phone, so you know, put the watch up to your hand, it'll turn itself on. I don't know if we'll see the flexible display, but at CES this year they showed an amazing flexible display.
Greg, so you're showing me all of this, and you're saying that's the way of the future, and then on September 10th, we're going to get Apple coming out with their latest iPhone. So are they a little bit late here to the game? Well,
I think Samsung is pushing it to try and get there before Apple. They're sick and tired of being called a copycat. So they want to come out fast forward and saying, look, we've got innovation too. Yes, with this battle with Steve Jobs and all the rest, that's past. We are an innovator. We have some really great technology. So I think they'll do that and they'll use that.
What about the iPhone? What about this new iPhone?
Well, the new iPhone, it's now in a catch-up. It's a Me Too. They've got a lot of capabilities. You've got the Motorola they're competing with now with all of its authentication and battery life. You've got the Samsung Galaxy with a big screen, really cool apps. You've got the HTC One. There are a lot of phones out there that are really quite superior to the iPhone today, so they have to step up. And I think they will, by the way.
Competition in phones is boring. Competition in watches, exciting.
I know,
I would agree with
that's a new trend, yes. Although my nephew just the other day showed me his Galaxy the Galaxy S4, and he was just so, you know, it looks like this screen is huge on that thing. So, yes, right there.